Hey everybody, I'm Trevor, and I thought I would do another portfolio video here. So I did my small and my medium portfolio. I might do an addendum to those videos because I've added more artwork to those. I don't think you guys have seen. But here's my large one. Now these are 18 by 24 inch works, most of them, and some of them might be a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to walk through this. It's been a while. I'm going to take the cover off. And this first piece is called Owl of the Sun. This was actually going to be a prototype. Let me see here. If memory serves me correctly, it was going to be the cover for my third book, Zeitgeist Benediction. And this is colored pencil with pen and ink on 18 by 24 inch 180 pound test cold press watercolor paper or something like that. But as you can see here, I didn't even blend the color because it was just kind of a rough prototype drawing for like what the cover might look like. And like Zeitgeist was going to be up here, Benediction was going to be down here or something like that. And that was kind of the idea behind this cover. So I'm just going to scooch that over here. Now, when I was in art school and college, I used to do a lot of still life drawings and stuff like that. And this is one of my skull studies, one of my better ones that I did in charcoal. I can't believe this drawing is 10 years old, guys. This drawing was done in 2020. That one's 5 years old now. This one's 10 years old. This is one of my oldest skull studies from one of the school's own skulls, and I was completely alone in the studio drawing from life. This little guy on one of our stools in the art building, just going to town, doing my best to understand shadow and light and shadow and stuff. Definitely not my best drawing, but hey, this was a milestone for me, for sure. It was about maybe 4 hours on that drawing. Now this is my ode to Fallout. This drawing is also 10 years old. This is black and white charcoal on recycled B paper is what it was called. And recycled B paper. It was recycled paper. It was like drawing on a shopping bag. And in fact, some of my buddies in school used to pick on me and call me poor because they used to joke that I was so poor I was drawing on shopping bags from the grocery store. I always got a kick out of that. But who's laughing now? Probably them. All right, anyway, this is, I did this. I was trying to sell this for a long time when I was trying to do fan art, but I just decided to keep him. He's one of my favorite pieces of all time. I love the T60, T45 Power Armor. This is from 2009, right here. This little guy, this is a sunflower, of course, you guys can see. This was a drawing all about line weight, I think, if I remember correctly. It was just being drawn from observation with a micron pen. Our teacher at the time, Mr. Bender, Greg Bender, I think is what his name was, he wanted us to use pen right away, a micron pen, which I thought was very strange because he didn't want us to erase any lines, because he said when you have an eraser you tend to muss and fuss over the drawing, which I definitely agree with to some extent. I think with discipline, you commit to those strokes you make and you don't fuss over the drawing as much as he thinks you would. So that's just what I think. But now I'm a much better artist than I was 16 years ago. So take that with what you will. This next one was another drawing from these are done from one of my first college drawing courses, Drawing 101. I had some unfortunate smearing here from charcoal. I can clean that up sometime, but I kind of left it because it's part of the charm. But these seashells were drawn from observation by my hand in school, and this took about 4 hours or so, I would say. But it's one of those things, like in school, they kind of make you draw out your drawings, no pun intended, to fill the curriculum, like the time frame. Like, okay, we have 4 weeks to work on this drawing. Holy hell, that's a long time to work on a drawing twice a week for 3 hours. That's like totally unnecessary, if you ask me now, as a professional artist. Professional because I've been paid to do artwork over the years. I'm very blessed to be able to say that out loud. And so I love this drawing as well. I used to have a lot more artwork, guys, but honestly, I recycled a lot of my old drawings because the ones I knew just weren't very good, because I can't keep all that paper around forever. But here's one of my Michelangelo studies from the Sistine Chapel. This is one of my old ones. This one is 11 years old. Holy buckets. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. Michelangelo was one of my favorite artists, still is, as you can see. Here's another study. I learned everything I know about drawing from Mother Nature, drawing outside, painting outside, hours and hours at a time for years, and studying the old masters like Michelangelo, Velasquez, Zorn, Rembrandt. Gosh, so many. Sabin Howard, he's a contemporary sculptor from Italy. His drawings are top notch. You might see some of those in here if you haven't already. But one of Michelangelo's critics, I think it was Da Vinci, said that his figures looked like they were like made out of bags of walnuts because they tended to get a little lumpy in the anatomy there. Like you can see the deltoid here, triceps brachii, biceps brachii, brachialis muscle. But sometimes it gets a little lumpy. You're like, what the hell am I even drawing? Oops, sorry, guys. And here's another one. You can kind of see some back anatomy going on here. I'm not sure what's going on there, but that's what he drew, so I drew it. But this was before I started studying anatomy pretty intently. This was 11 years ago, mind you. I would draw this a lot differently now. Here's a Colleen Berry master study that I did. This is how I would do this. I heart newsprint. I love newsprint. I think it's a very beautiful thing. It's non-archival, meaning it yellows and eventually it falls apart. There's something romantic about that, drawing on something like that and cutting your teeth on that sort of material and getting better at drawing on that sort of material, because it doesn't last forever like nothing does. So that's pretty romantic. But this is how I'd set up a master study. I would set up, this is a beautiful example of how I would do this. I set up the photo of whatever drawing or painting I'm studying, and then I start to block out mine, and then my eyes are doing this constantly. I'm like a scanner, trying to get as close as I can through observation and learn as much as I can from the artist. So I'm copying their drawing as much as I can through observation with my eyeballs, as much as possible, comparing proportions, comparing, certain things and stuff like that, and trying to get as close as possible, which will never be perfect unless I, trace to the contour and then drew from there, but I'm not into that. So here's another drawing of some rocks and twigs from college. This is 16 years old as well. Pretty cool. Pen and ink, Micron. This piece is called Aeon Sol, which means phases of eternity, or actually it could mean phases of layer as well, which is interesting. But this might be a book cover for my Zeitgeist, one Zeitgeist book in the future. I'm not sure. Right now I'm working on Zeitgeist Horizon, which should come out either this year or next year. But I wasn't sure. There might be another Zeitgeist book. If there's a story there, I'm going to write it. Excuse me. If there's no story there, I can't write it because I just really struggle. It would be like being forced at gunpoint to write a story that you just have nothing to say in, and that really sucks. Nobody wants to do that, and I don't want to do that. So if I can't figure out how to make another book that's a prequel to the Zeitgeist series, like Horizon is, which would be a continuation of Horizon's story, I don't know, I probably wouldn't write it, but I'm sure I can probably figure it out. But this piece won me first prize at our local fair. It's all about the phases of eternity. So you have sheet, you have different kanji here, getsu, heat. Let's see here. The way I drew some of these are very stylized. Oh, there's toki at the top. There's hikari at the top there for light. What was it? Tsuchi, I think it was. So you have Earth, Moon, Getsu, or sorry, it's actually Ski. Heat, Moon, so you have Moon, Sun, Earth, Death. I can't remember. Time, light, shucks, I can't remember. Having a brain fart, guys. But this is pen and ink, with a little bit of red pen, because I love red and black. This took me about a week to draw by hand, and what was I gonna say? Oh, it's also 18 by 24 inches on 180-pound cold pressed watercolor paper. I'm not sure if that's the last one. Oh, that is the last one. All right, and that's the last drawing, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd be more than happy to talk art in the comment section below. Until next time, y'all. Matane.